beginning to look a lot like Keystone. Copycats Christmas. Take a listen and then you'll see just how festive our show can be with Chris and Zach.
Hello, ho, ho, and welcome to Keystone Copycats with Chris and Zach. I, of course, am your host, Zach, and he, of course, is your other jolly host.
Cleese.
You could have been like Chris Kringle.
I didn't have any time.
You could have been anyone.
You just woke me up from my slumber like a bear hibernating.
You just looked so cute in your
little
nightcap.
My little cocooner.
Yeah.
You want to? It's Christmas now, so we got to talk about it. Like I wanted to jump in. We were in a hot discussion of something, and I can't jump back into it just yet because I got
we have to tell people what we're doing.
So
it's a Christmas theme.
Yeah. So how you doing with the snowfall?
I'm jolly as fuck.
Fuck yeah.
How
dude.
about you?
I'm excited. I'm working on my Christmas list over here.
I like presents.
Yeah.
Candy canes.
You love.
I love Christmas.
You've always loved candy
I
canes.
love
I don't
Christmas.
understand your infatuation with peppermint.
I love peppermint.
I'm a spearmint man myself.
That's because you're a bitch.
But I got a Christmas present for you.
Oh.
But I need to know what kind to get you when I put it in the box.
Peppermint.
So to continue our discussion, if you were to get a flashlight that you would have sex with,
no.
Does it have to be, what do we call it? Attractive or sexy? What do we say?
You said all flashlights are sexy to you. I thought that was weird.
That's not what I said.
I don't know why you said that.
I don't understand the interest of a flashlight. Let's keep with the Christmas theme.
Uh-huh.
We'll put some jingle bells on it. And
you want it to look like a ho-ho-ho.
And we'll there you go. And we'll kiss underneath it or something.
I'm going to make as many Christmas puns as I can.
Why did they make the flashlight look so engorged? Why is it so big and thick? It's not appealing. I don't want to put my thing in there.
I think you're meant to be like looking at pornography while you're using it.
Why is it not just a rubber like saber, and then you just like go
saber?
Go. I don't know what it's called. It's like a lightsaber thing, right? Isn't that what it is? Whatever.
I'm not an expert here.
Well, I'm just saying, like, why has it got to have any look to it? Why isn't it just a hole? Why does it have to be this way?
A hole in what?
A hole in one, if you do it right. No, I'm saying like in the handle thing. I don't know what it's called.
The
Screw
saber.
it. I'm old-fashioned. Just give me a jar of peanut butter. That's all I need. A couple dogs will make this thing work.
That sounds awful.
Well, so what do you want to ship? Your Christmas present? It's going to be messy when it gets to you, but I promise it's not used. It's just loved thoroughly.
That's not. That doesn't make it any better. That makes it worse. You know
what? It's from jolly old Saint Cleesmas.
Jolly old Saint. Nope.
Gotcha.
No.
All right.
Well, how you doing? Big old no from me there, buddy boy. I told you I'm jolly. Oh. I know I'm staring at the fucking thing and it's doing something weird. I'm trying to figure it out, but yeah. So, we're talking Christmas movies. Are you excited about that?
What, the Cleesmas?
Yeah.
Yeah, clearly. I'm fucking stoked.
Okay, good. I didn't believe you before.
Like, so what?
I thought you were a liar.
What brought upon this idea?
Well, the idea came about. So initially, I was taking a bath, and I wanted to be like.
You want to do Bubbles talk?
No, I wanted to be like
Jack Nicholson from Batman.
No, I wanted to be like on Fresh Air. You know, I wanted I was treating you like Terry Gross, and I was giving you like my like stupid came up with it story. But really, I just love Christmas, and I thought I would love to do something Christmas related for our show that we do. And I thought that the Christmas Carol story has a lot of weight within, storytelling overall, and especially in movies. So I thought it would be cool to do a series of.
Are we allowed to tell them all the ones we picked, or are we wait until the end?
That's up to you. What do you think?
Well, I mean, in keeping with surprises, Christmas morning surprises, I guess we should wait till the end, and then unveil each one. But like, here's a hint: like, it's gonna be based around a certain character. You're looking at me. I can't tell if I'm allowed to say it. I don't really make the rules around.
Okay,
here.
so
Can I talk about
this? Is what we'll say is that it's
the Scrooge?
Everything is either based on A Christmas Carol, an adaptation, or inspired by.
All right, so stay tuned
Yeah.
and shit and stuff.
So let me ask you this.
Did I get myself an early Christmas present, Zach?
No.
I did.
No.
I did.
No.
I downloaded Audible because I was prompted because I guess people at the company that I'm spending some time with right now are like looking to advance me in the company or whatever. So they were giving me some books to listen to.
Yeah.
So I downloaded Audible, and then the first thing that came up was erotic fantasy stories. It was recommended, so I just listened to that instead of the book they recommended. So I realized that I was like, okay, this is probably worth the money, whatever it is, $15. And then they had like erotic fantasy stories. I'm like, well, this is better.
You're like,
so
and then you got out your fleshlight.
I'm in my van just listening to erotic stories as I drive around to people's homes, and I think that it's preparing me for something. I really do. Mainly going into strangers' homes and having high expectations that something might happen.
You know,
so once I get your present back,
look, not to give away where you work, but you are the largest plumbing company in southwestern Ohio that is eroticism based.
Yeah. We're fake.
The horniest
we're not
plumbers.
We're not really doing this. We're just shooting erotic videos. And I got a wrench.
So you were inspired by like watching a porno where like a plumber came and was like, I'm here to fix your pipes, and then he just like fucks them, but like you fuck them while you actually fix the pipes.
Exactly. It's the whole. I'm gonna use
the whole.
It's the whole. No, I'm gonna use a term I used yesterday. Was the dream package.
You talking about your dick?
I sold to this sweet old couple. I sold them what I called the dream package, and then they like when it got to management, they're like, "What the fuck was the dream package?" I was like, "Well, I was confused because we went through this training when they're like personalize each one. Like if they're doing it because the basement bathroom is backed up, then figure out who uses it the most, and then call it that, like Colleen's toilet package or whatever." So I was like, "All right." I'm like, "I guess I'll apply that logic." So I sold him I was like, what would this be if you wanted to buy it? She's like, that would be my dream. I said, then it'll be the dream package. And then everyone was like, what the fuck? You can't sell things called the dream package. I'm like, but I thought I was
You're like,
supposed
maybe
to.
you can't.
It was $7,000. It really was. So they're like, well, we can't scold them too hard. It was a good sale, but like, come on, man. So, dream package.
Sounds dreamy.
Yeah. The other option was the Brienne package. It wasn't as fucking enlightening.
I don't like it. Jesus.
What?
What a fucking...
between that and the erotic fantasy I've been listening to, I'm crushing it.
I really thought you were going to say that you had like downloaded A Christmas Carol and listened to it.
No.
I downloaded it, but
nice.
I didn't listen to it yet.
Oh.
So I'm going to listen to it and have some like interesting takes next week.
Yeah.
It's only 4 hours, and I downloaded it last night after I watched this movie, and then I didn't have time to listen to it today.
Well, they want me to like listen to like John Maxwell, and you can only listen to that for so long before you need like some mermaid sex.
Yeah. You should also pepper in some Jack Welch straight from the gut.
I forgot about that. What a good novel.
What?
So how you doing? Are you chilly with the Christmas attitude?
I'm jolly.
Nice.
I'm raring to go. Ooh, you know what this means? I can wear my Christmas shoes.
I mean, there's no reason you couldn't have done that before.
No, I did sometimes still, but
and they're
like
still not gonna know.
I bought a new pair of like Van slip-ons, like just all black ones. So I just wear those when I would have worn my Christmas shoes because they're Van slip-ons with Snoopy and Charlie Brown on them.
I mean, unless there's jingle bells on it, this isn't important.
They're very Christmassy.
Shake your fucking shoes, and then everyone knows that you got.
They're sitting over there on the stairs.
Well,
You'll have to look at them.
I mean, you're making me turn my head. Like we could all just pretend. This
could
is all
you turn
pretend.
your head?
It's all pretend.
Hey,
just tell the audience you got it on.
Could you actually turn your head?
I won't. I can't.
He's doing it.
For two different. I'm not doing it.
That was his neck.
Do you want to? Here's the thing. If you don't know what the fuck the Christmas Carol story is, then shame on you, you unpatriotic bastard. But I'm still going to do the synopsis.
Well, hang on.
I love you so much.
Hang on.
What?
hang
You don't
on.
want to jump?
I don't want
to
to get into that yet.
To
No,
the success train.
I do have.
Toot.
Look,
Dream train coming through.
hang on. Let me initiate the startup wizard for this episode.
That's an inside joke. No one's going to get
It is. I mean, your lovely fiance might get it, but
I don't tell her all the stories.
oh, thank God.
She finds out all the stories when she listens. Somewhere about
Just
her.
like everybody else.
Yeah.
I wanted to ask, when you were growing up, how did your family do Christmas?
Well, Christmas Eve was always better because there's more anticipation built in, and
yeah.
you always got your early presents, like from one side of your family, dude, mom's side, dad's
Yeah.
side kind of thing. We were a very traditional Roman Catholic family, so it kind of depended on what we were gonna do, but it was mom's side Christmas Eve and then dad's side Christmas Day. So
We
you
were
had
reversed.
two different days of Christmas.
Yeah. But like, yeah, so you were like, you didn't do like presents before at all, except for
No,
like
some-
the other
when-
family,
when we
extended
got-
family.
When we got older, yeah, we started doing them at night because we were all night owls, so we would literally do like 1 a.m. Christmas. So then we could sleep in.
Then you
Like,
just go to bed.
Once we all found out about the Santa thing, which spoiler,
Shut
you know,
up.
yeah, like so then we would just stay up all night and drink and open presents. It's a lot of fun.
That does sound like
Catholicism,
fun.
there's perks.
That does sound like fun.
Besides the molestation, you got a good time.
Yeah. Well, I mean, I'm sure they had a good time molesting people. Otherwise, why would they keep doing it? If they didn't love it, why would they keep doing it? You know?
All you need to do is buy a child-sized fleshlight, and you're good. I just don't understand. Or like a mini thing of peanut butter, which to each his own. Whatever.
Let me ask you something. When we were on vacation, you bought a squeezable tube of peanut butter.
Did I?
You said, we have to try this.
Was it good?
I don't remember. It was just Jif,
It
but it was
like
a
it'd be messy.
squeezable. It was like a pouch. It was like
What
a Capri
happened to it?
Sun.
And I bought it?
You probably threw it away
What happened
when we
to it?
left.
No, I think someone must have stole that from me.
Probably
No,
Eric.
I got really sick and I was hallucinating. I probably ate it all.
I don't think so.
Well,
I don't
it's a
think so.
mystery then.
No, you ate a bunch of frozen peanut butter and honey sandwiches that you stashed in your bed
In my
somewhere.
pillowcase. And I was dispensing them to my son like I was the godfather. This is for being a good boy.
My son, have peanut butter and
I
honey.
was hallucinating. Whenever I get fevers, I hallucinate. It's
I've
bad
only
news.
I've only had a fever so bad that I hallucinated one time, and so my wife, my girlfriend at the time, got like a
That's
tickle.
how it starts.
She got like a tickle in her throat.
Was that because you were dating? Is that
No,
what I'm talking about?
no, and from that tickle in her throat, I was like on my deathbed for like a week and a half.
Because you sucked the life out of you, right?
So then,
You know what I'm talking
like
about?
her mom is like I had strep. It was terrible. I felt like trash. And then her mom was like, "Oh yeah, strep doesn't really affect you at all." And she was like, "Oh, huh." And I was like, "Gee, thanks." But like in that state where I had like a crazy fever, I had been like binge watching The West Wing.
They call it a creever.
And I kept like I was in no what
Crazy
can't-
fever.
I hate you. Oh, what a portmanteau. But so I had been binge watching The West Wing, and they were at this point where they were at Camp David trying to like bring peace between Palestine and Israel. And I was like so out of my fucking mind that I thought that I like worked for the White House, and I was like, "They need me. I gotta get like in my bed watching The West Wing." I thought I was part of the show.
Yeah, I mean, yeah. And then there was the other time that your buddy threw belt buckles at you. I got it.
That wasn't hallucination.
Wow.
That's just
So
me
he
having
really-
crazy dreams.
So he really did it then. Can
as well as talking in my sleep.
Can I please move on to our
Look,
subject?
hey, just before
Please?
you do this, I just want to say,
Please?
what the fuck is taking you so long to read this synopsis?
I've just been
You
busy.
just keep babbling on about toilets and wizards and fleshlights and Jodie Foster.
Ooh. Tell you what. You put her face on a piece of peanut butter or a piece of peanut butter. Fuck, I don't know.
What?
I don't know how thoughts work. Give me a
So
second.
how you doing?
I'm trying to recap. Give me a second. All right, everybody, we ready?
and go.
The Muppets tell their version of the classic tale of an old and bitter miser and his redemption on Christmas Eve. Now, I don't know if you know about this Scrooge character. He's quite the
McDuck?
shyster fuck.
Shyster fuck.
Yeah.
So literally, the translation is shit fuck. You called him a shit fuck.
Yeah, he is. He's a dickhead. Was that incorrect though?
I guess.
It's a little over the top, but like he's a dick.
You know,
But-
I did see in the special features a scene that they cut out where he literally fucked a turd. It was a Muppet turd, but it was like his wife.
So it was furry.
weird.
It was furry, and you couldn't see the lower half.
Kind of crinkly looking.
Got it. But before we go into this,
Kind of looked like
this is
Rizzo.
the first time I've been watching this movie, and this actually might be a good subject. That like, is Scrooge just misunderstood? He's like clearly went through child abuse, like neglect, and
Yeah.
now he's really grumpy, and everyone just hates him. But he's just like Oscar the Grouch. He's just in a bad spot. Like, so he's just upset all the time, and people are like, "You should cheer up," and forcing it down his throat when he has this trauma. Like,
Well-
is this a story that would go over well now? If it wasn't a classic.
One of my notes said this story is significantly more relevant today than ever before.
About a greedy old man?
Yes.
Hoarding
About
his
this
money?
fucking rich man who's just like trying to deprive people when he literally says like, my taxes pay for the prisons
Yeah.
and the poorhouses. That's where they should go. He literally thinks poor people belong in prison.
Yeah, I mean they do. Let's be honest.
Hey,
look at them. They don't have anything.
I think what you meant to say was, we do.
You, just,
You forgot we're trash.
You ought to be like, get out of here.
Like
you don't have
Oscar.
enough stuff.
No, but I think that yeah, you're absolutely right that he suffers child abuse. Like, but they never
they're
never get into when he's a kid. Why doesn't he go home for Christmas?
He's not allowed to because, well, I'm sure I didn't read the novel, so I don't know for sure.
I'm going to,
but in
before next
different
week.
versions of the story, his father just hates him. I think his mom died when given birth, kind of thing. There's some kind of resentment where the mom's not. I think the mom passed away, and then dad hates him. So because
Got a hair in my mouth.
because when his sister comes to pick him up from the boarding school or whatever, she's like, "Father's so much different now." Blah blah. I think in the one of the versions, I don't want to talk about it because we're gonna do it later. So
Wait,
that's
we're gonna
my-
do it later?
That's my response.
Huh.
So, anywho, yeah, I mean, I think he just has this trauma. It doesn't mean that he should be an asshole to a whole human race.
Right.
But then
right.
again, like he is just like, I want to be left alone. He says so many times, I just want to be left alone. And that's true. Like, he's not really bothering anybody.
No,
They're
no,
coming
you're
to
wrong
him.
about that. He's a fucking asshole. Like,
What, because he wants to do business a certain way?
no, because he wants to fucking control everybody else's shit by saying, like, no, this is what I want.
Don't live in
So
his house. It's his property.
nobody lives in his house.
Yeah, not anymore. He evicted him.
No, nobody lived in his house.
What do you mean? He's evicting the Muppet, one of that, I wasn't going to say the odd-looking Muppet, but a lot of them are odd-looking.
Yeah, they're Muppets. What do you want? The thing with the stuff. I was looking at our calendar to see what we had that you thought we were going to talk about later. I don't know.
I mean, they're all based around the Christmas Carol.
They are, but like, I don't know that we're doing. I don't know what you think we're doing. Like,
Okay.
this is throwing me off now.
That's fine. We can just talk about what we're actually going to talk about.
Fleshlights.
No.
Do you think the opening shot was miniatures where they're like panning over the city?
I didn't pay attention to the opening that much, but I do think that they probably built a small town for this.
I always like that. So I think that
Oh yeah, because that's right. No, I did pay attention because it's really
it's
rustic.
all over the rooftops.
And like the rooftops, they have that. All of them have that really gothic bow in the middle of them.
Yeah.
So I was like, man, is this a real town? Because it's possible that it was.
Yeah.
It was not a crafted city, but then again,
yeah, I think it was a miniature. I think it was
old
miniatures.
Henson Jr. You still know.
Brian Henson. This was his first movie that he directed.
I was gonna ask, but I kind of assumed. Is this the first time that Rizzo the Rat has speaking lines? Because there's always been rats in the Muppets, but is this the first time Rizzo was introduced?
I do not know. I didn't see that in trivia, so I would guess no. But
Okay, I mean, because once again, I've seen the rats. I've never seen a
Yeah.
speaking role for at least this.
I've
is his
seen
first
him and
lead.
stuff, and I don't know what or the timeline of it. That's
I enjoy him. I think
Yeah,
he was
he's
a good.
funny.
If he was around, then forgive me. But if this is his first co-starring role.
Yeah.
Whatever.
If it's his big break.
Yeah. Then I think he did really well. He's good.
Yeah, I thought so
relief with
too.
Gonzo, because Gonzo actually plays more straight-laced in this as Dickens.
Yeah. Yeah, and so
which I
this
enjoyed.
was the first movie not only that Brian Henson directed, but it was also the first Muppet movie made after Jim Henson's death.
Which wasn't funny at all.
No. But they had Steve Whitmore playing Kermit. This was his first time doing it, and he supposedly had like really terrible nerves beforehand. And then
Henson always did Kermit.
Yeah, Henson was
Did
Kermit.
he voice him too?
Yeah, that's it. That's what
shit.
I'm saying.
I didn't.
Yeah, Henson voiced Kermit.
I know that it changed. I never knew why. I never put two and two together.
because Jim Henson died. So Steve Whitmore
And Jim
says,
Henson was
a human.
the creator of the Muppets.
That's correct.
Okay.
It's not quite a Muppet.
What is
It's not quite a
what
puppet.
is Jim Henson?
Jeopardy. No, he said that like the night before they started shooting, he was having like terrible nerves, and then saw Jim Henson in a dream and told him he was going to be all right, and then nailed it.
Oh.
Which I recently watched the Muppets Haunted Mansion, and I believe
Do you think that
he does.
just said that to get some sympathy?
I mean, I don't know that
Do you
that
think
gives
he
you
went
sympathy. I think
around
it's,
all day that day, like telling the casting crew that story, so people would be like, "Oh," so be more forgiving, so no one would actually tell him that he did a shitty job? Because I just couldn't help but notice that whenever Kermit's legs were on screen, I was bothered. I hated it. I hated every second.
well, that's unrelated. That's a puppeteer.
No, it's related.
That's not Steve Whitmore, who
it's-
does the voice of Kermit.
No, you're missing the point. Kermit. Kermit with legs.
But that
It's
always
awful.
happens
It's
that way.
awful.
It's silly.
It's awful.
It's just
No, I
goofy
never
looking.
felt that way until now. And I think it's because of that bastard shyster fucker.
Ebenezer Scrooge? What?
Yeah. Michael Caine, too.
Yeah, Mike O'Kane too.
So that song, that opening song, by God, that's one of my favorite. This isn't a musical, is it? Is this classified as a musical?
Yeah, their songs.
This
like,
is one of my favorite songs in any musical.
Yeah.
Is that there goes Mr. Humbug.
oh,
There goes Mr. Grimm.
Yeah, it's good. It goes on longer than I remembered.
No, yeah, because
But it's good.
it breaks up for a second and it
Yeah.
comes back because you have to hear the line, "No cheeses for us Mises."
Yeah.
So fucking
No
gold.
houses for us mouses.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, plural of mouse.
They said it.
So silly.
Yeah, it's moose. But if for a minute I thought you were gonna say the Kermit song, the Bob Cratchit, but I forgot about the opening song.
Yeah.
There's only one more sleep till Christmas.
I don't care about that one. Then you see him skating. That's another one where he has fucking legs. Or who is the puppeteer?
I don't know.
Muppeteer? The Muppeteer you're talking about, the voice Kermit.
I told you a million times he did the voice. He's not the puppeteer.
Okay.
They're not the same
and
always.
who was
Sometimes they are.
Who was responsible for the legs?
I don't know.
Is that Brian?
No,
do we-
unlikely.
Do we get him on
As
the
he
phone?
was the director. Henson?
Yeah.
Let me see what I can do.
Just pull him up. It should be in your phone. Like I've noticed that every time I go on my phone, there's a contacts list. And
For Brian Henson?
I just call around till I get a hold of who I need to.
All right. I'm gonna mute myself. I'm gonna make some calls, and you just monologue
You
while
get-
I'm getting Brian Henson on the horn.
You get the fastest response if you just call 911 and tell them your emergency.
I need Brian
know-
Henson
Right
now.
now. I always get a response very hastily.
Interesting.
Yeah. So if you who do you see yourself as in this movie? Like I figured it out right away.
Who you see yourself as, or who you see me as?
No, just answer first.
Because I think you see me as like the ghost of Christmas Present. Like that's what I think.
With the no memory.
Huh?
I
Come in
he
and know
always-
me better, man. Did I
He
say that already?
always seemed so warm and welcoming. Like I love that Muppet specifically. But the only part I don't like is when he looks through the door initially, or the through
When he's
that,
so big.
and his head is like tilted. That creeped me out as a kid. But other than that, like
He's gonna eat ya.
He seemed like you wanted to snuggle up on that Muppet so much.
I did want to, and I still do.
Right, so you
And I'm
is
gonna do that.
Is that who you'd be?
No, I don't. I think I would be Bob Cratchit, but
What?
I'd be Kermit.
You be why?
I
Because
like
of the legs thing? Because
Because the legs. It's because of the legs.
Oh.
Because you always talk about how my legs bother you.
Yeah, it's too much.
Figgin'.
Not enough Christmas shoes on them.
Christmas shoes.
Yeah.
We're on that again?
No, I mean, because you want to fuck a pig?
Wow. How dare you say that about my lovely wife?
Wow. Didn't know Owen Wilson. Wow.
I don't know. I like Kermit.
Wait, I just don't understand. So Kermit
I like Kermit.
wants to fuck the pig.
Yeah.
His piggy.
His wife.
Gonzo wants to fuck the chickens. They're just all over the place with his bestiality.
No, I mean, they're all beasts.
Well, Gonzo's not. Gonzo's a thing.
Yeah, he's a beast. That's what I'm saying.
Well, that beast. In nature, do frogs fuck pigs?
Let me ask you something.
Like, will they get in on
Who
that?
could ever love
A beast.
a beast?
No, I mean, so you're going Kermit. Then who would I be?
You would be Fozziewig.
Thank you! Yay! That's who I picked!
He's just Fozzie
That's
with
who
a wig. It's so fucking brilliant. They're like, there's a character named Fezziwig. We'll call him Fozziewig, and it'll be Fozzie in a wig. It's perfect.
The first time you see Fozziewig, he's also has legs. I can't stand the legs on the Muppets.
Muppets with legs
They
are
really
hard.
It's just
It's not right.
What is it about the legs?
It's like an affront to nature.
Is it because like they don't really move and the rest of them are moving?
It's because they're these
stationary?
fucking dangly like flaps of felt.
Not
like they're not-
Fozzie's. Fozzie's are some thick ass thighs.
Look, man, if you want to talk about like disturbing appendages on fucking Muppets, talk about the Swedish Chef's human hands.
Yeah.
Oh Christ!
Oh.
Can't fucking handle it.
Yeah.
It's awful.
Just keep
Look at my human hands. God, wear some gloves. I hate it.
Oh, I love he said Christ. But no, there's a part of the opening with the cabbage that he's using later where it's just going, help, I'm being stolen.
Yeah.
And you're like, oh my God, that's horrible. That Muppet can just talk and not move and he's being stolen.
Well, the same thing
I
at
hated
Fozziewig's
it.
party when he opens up the tray and it's talking grapes and he says, I don't eat talking food.
Yeah.
I think it was Gonzo.
So bothersome, but I'm glad you got Fozziewig because immediately I was like, I'd be Fozzie. I'm always Fozzie with the bad jokes, but
Yeah, waka waka.
but no, you would be Beaker by far.
Stop it.
Like when they were doing when they were trying to get the donations, and I'm just looking at Beaker, just looking back and forth, and like, it's Zach.
Wow.
I'm glad you got mine.
Wow.
You're not Kermit. You're the
Wow.
You're the helper.
I'm not Beaker.
You're Beaker.
Fucking asshole. Jesus.
Oh, I can't even move on to my next point because I can't read because I have tears in my eyes.
It's so sad, you know?
this-
It's so sad.
This. Speaking of sad, this is the best. This is the best version. That's a family story. Like
Yeah.
I think they did a really good job with Gonzo as the narrator, keeping it a little bit lighter, but keeping the child audience engaged in this classic story. What do you think?
Oh, for sure.
With a great moral about like being a better person to get a reward at the end.
Caring less about money than about people.
Staying in the Christmas theme of be good and get a reward.
Um,
Which I kind of have mixed feelings on, but I love Christmas too.
I'm not a fan. Yeah, I'm not a fan of like moral dessert type philosophies. And this kind of
it's just
plays
fun to
into
get
that.
presents. That's kind of
Well,
what I
right.
love.
And but this kind of plays into that. But it also, I think, is I don't know, man. I the more I look back on like media from our childhood, the more I feel like there was so much that had this like covert socialist ideas in it, which is like, you know, don't care so much about your money, but like, I don't know, is it socialist or is it just like, you know, societal? Like,
I mean,
society is about people.
Aren't those the same thing?
No, I mean, sort of, but no, I think it's about like we're not an economy. Like that's not what.
It's funny that he wrote this whole novel because I could summarize it as like, be a good dude, man.
Suck less, rich guy.
Be a good dude, man.
Yeah,
is what I said. I think Dickens got it
know
wrong.
me better, man.
Know me better, man.
Yeah. But I don't know. It really like, and looking back, like I know I've talked about this before, but like Sesame Street and like there's a lot of these
And
like
the post office. You're talking about socialism, right?
no, but there is a lot of this. There is a lot of stuff that we learned as kids from like media. Look at like Captain Planet. It's a cartoon show that like the superhero is about like preserving the earth and like not littering and polluting.
Well,
like
I mean, yeah, I know this was what did we say, 92 or 94?
92.
92. But yeah, I mean, obviously it's past the 80s, but this is just a classic story, so
Yeah.
I mean, it's just borrowing from. I don't think you're taking.
Yeah, no,
from the
you're right.
from
You're
the
right.
Early '90s socialist ideas, but yes, they do exist. I don't think this is necessarily in that category. I think this is just.
well, no, but what I'm saying is that
about
like
being a better part of society in itself.
I
I think
think-
you got it the second time. I don't think it's about.
well, no. But I think
Socialism.
what the point that I'm making about it is that like this is a classic story that is about caring more about people and less about money and possessions and that
But
type
only
of thing.
particular people.
Right,
Not-
your people.
Because like, did he get rid of all his money and like take care of everyone for like a second, but then he was broke, and then they were broke soon after, and then someone else?
No,
came
I
up
think
and
he
took
did
a
what he
spot
could, whatever,
In
but,
the,
like-
in the consumption chain. Like,
but I think
did he
the
fuck up his
idea
legacy?
No, but I think my whole point here is that it's specifically targeted at children. You know, because
Well,
it's
they're
the
easy
Muppets.
to target
That's what I'm saying. So like there's all these
in
around this
all kinds of
time.
ways.
It's like it is a classic story that everybody knows, but it is taking that and saying like, "Hey, I'm going to aim this right at children so they will learn from, you know, Scrooge's follies."
Yeah, that fucking Michael Caine
He's great.
and his sweet success.
He is
He's a believable.
so
Scrooge.
good. Yeah, I love Michael Caine.
So there's one part early on where I can't remember. Rizzo gets knocked into the water
Sure.
or something.
Oh, that's outside Fozziewig's.
Well, maybe
falls into that
maybe
bucket.
It's not. Maybe it's not that part. He's Gonzo's using him as what's a stoke the fire? What's it called?
Oh, a bellows.
A bellows.
Yeah.
Now
That's that in Scrooge's.
yeah, but to use him as a bellows, which would mean that air would have to be. He's using his legs, so air is coming in through his anus, right? To stoke the fire. How does that work?
Later,
He's blowing his anus air at the fire, right?
Later, when Rizzo lands on the goose at the Cratchits,
And he's dancing on it?
when he's sitting after that, there is smoke coming out of his feet, and you can see where like it's like being pumped through from like a tube or something in his leg and
Oh,
coming out
really?
the bottom of his feet. Yeah,
That's pretty good.
yeah, I noticed that. I thought it was fun.
All right.
Well,
yeah. You gave me an actual answer, which I do appreciate.
so I think they couldn't have made a better casting choice than Statler and Waldorf as Marley and Marley.
yeah.
They're so fucking good.
You forgive it for having the two Marleys because they
it's
play
so
off
good.
each other.
Yeah.
Yeah. It's what? Yeah. Well, that guy. What's his name? The guy. I'm blanking on his name. He collects collectors' masks. I forget his name. Anyway,
I don't know.
He loves the Marley and Marley song, and I sent it to him last night when I was watching it.
Oh, sure.
Yeah.
It's
It's a tradition that I send it to him every single year.
I like that. That's
But
a good
anyway,
tradition.
I'm fucking
Um,
blanking on his name right now.
What do you think about the Ghost of Christmas Past?
I
thought she was creepy. I always forget what the Ghost
Oh,
of
the
Christmas Past
baby?
looks like.
Oh yeah, I was messed up on the names. No, I hate that baby.
I always
thing.
forget
Why
what she
did
looks
they
like.
Not, why did they not make it a known Muppet? Like, why were all
I don't know.
all the spooks like not known Muppets? I don't get it. Like, why was this if they were gonna do the giant "Know Me Better" man, that give a Christmas present? Why was it not that? Who's the big Muppet that's always in the suit? He looks scarier, but he's always nice. I think
Big
it was
Muppet
probably-
always in the suit.
Yeah, he's like the life-size Muppet. Like I can't think of his name. I don't know how to explain him.
What,
He's a
Telly?
fucking Muppet. He's a big monster man. He's always like late for the bus, running
Is
after
it Telly? Is he like
Sure.
purple or pink or
him.
something?
No, not Telly. Not from Sesame Street.
Oh, then I don't know. I don't know the Muppets
He's,
as
he's
well.
in a full-size man suit. Anyway, I don't know why they did that.
Like you?
Like the Ghost of Christmas Future. Like he's terrifying
And it's meant to be, obviously.
with his
Like
weird long arms. That was
Yeah.
it. That's what bothered
Yeah.
me.
they're
I, like
I
the
think
gangle arms.
I think every version of Christmas Carol that I've seen does very similar things with the
Grim Reaper style.
the Christmas yet to come or whatever.
I think he would have been just fine with regular arms. It would have been like, oh, he's not crazy. But I remember being a kid like, nope, those long arms, man, they're going to get you.
Yeah, you wanted to avoid him.
Oh, so
I think it did its job.
So it's be nice.
I think it did its job.
So it's much.
You don't want to be visited.
It's much like the
but
Christian.
that's the whole.
It's much like the Christian hell. Like, be nice.
Yeah.
We love you, but if you fuck up, you're gone.
Yeah, exactly. But
Old
that's the whole point of this
creeper
entire
arms.
thing is to scare children into like being better people,
I mean,
and not for the hopes of like be good and Santa will give you gifts, but for the idea of like
you will
you
be
know
punished with the coal.
yeah, be a better person or you'll have to carry these chains for eternity.
I mean, would you not? Is that not strength building?
No, because you're a ghost.
Oh, so your muscles don't grow.
Well, they don't
Because
exist
they're
anymore.
dead. Well, I mean, but they kind of do. You got a presence.
No, you're thinking of something else.
What were in the boxes?
Money.
On the chains. Oh.
It's money.
Well, can you use that in the afterlife?
So it's the weight of their wealth is part of their chains and weighs them down because they were so greedy that
let's say that
your chains are forged based on how you were in life.
Let's say that there's an apocalyptic doomsday event.
Okay,
And
there's an apocalyptic doomsday event. We said it.
And somehow mankind still survives, but we don't know how to smelt metal anymore, or however you get metal.
Smelting mostly.
And you just have all the metal on you. You're going to be the wealthiest guy in town, and you're a ghost, so you can't die. So what I'm saying is, if they outlive everyone into the apocalypse, then they're going to be incredibly wealthy yet again from the chains and whatever's in those boxes.
No, because
you see what I'm getting at here?
No, because you're missing the important fact that like
I'm missing it.
Because we don't know how to smelt metal anymore, we wouldn't be able to rework those chains to make them anything useful. So no, they wouldn't be valuable. If we don't know how to do it,
they could be the anchor on the wooden ship you build. You would be the anchor.
How do you get nails to build a wooden ship?
Use wooden nails.
How do you carve them?
Rock.
How do you sharpen it?
Rock. Most of these answers are going to end the same.
Huh.
Or
what kind of phone does Fred Flintstone have?
bedrock.
I think it was just rock.
I think it was a cone. I think it was. I think it was a fucking deer. The fucking bull's horn.
Yeah, yabba dabba doo. I like talking to you. Is what I'm saying.
I'm off my point. It doesn't seem like that bad of a punishment, honestly. All eternity hanging out with your buddy, not a big deal.
So okay, let me ask you this.
Yeah.
Actually, before I get to that, I'm going to ask you about Sam the Eagle.
Oh my God! But my favorite,
I know.
by far. I love fucking Sam the Eagle. Everything he's in, he's perfect. I love this straight-laced, conservative fucking eagle who's always very confused by any, what do you want to say, nonsense?
Yeah. It's the American way.
It's the British way.
He was great.
Yeah, I love his stern gaze.
Yeah.
I wanted to get a tattoo of Sam the Eagle for a long time.
I think you should.
Yeah, not too late.
You know, that would be a good, like, chest tattoo. You know how, like, you see some people with, like, the big wings and, like, majestic. It's Sam the Eagle, though.
Yeah. Well, no, I wouldn't want him with the wings, though.
That'd be pretty good.
I'd want, like an eagle behind him, but he's standing in front, and you can kind of see that there's
with
an
his, like,
eagle
arms
back there.
crossed?
Yeah, but a guy, like, he's clearly blocking, but doesn't know he's blocking. That's what
I don't hate it.
So I was watching this last night by myself, and the house was dark. And though I know this is a children's movie, but it was the part where that bell started ringing.
Yeah.
And I'm like, that would be so
terrifying. Yeah.
I don't know why, like, even like seeing a ghost, I feel like the bell's more, what do I want to call it? Just ominous. You don't know what's happening.
Because there's something.
And then I started freaking out that I might have a bell in my house somewhere, and if it starts ringing, I'm going to leave and I'm going to drive to your house.
It's because that something physical is being manipulated by something that you...
And you don't know what.
Although I will say this, I believe that's like his doorbell.
Yeah, that's what I was wondering. What
Yeah,
the bell?
I think it's
was
his
thinking
doorbell.
like a servant bell.
That would be the opposite of that, where the bell would be in the servants' quarters that he would ring for. The bell wouldn't be in his room.
No, it's when he's really antisocial. They ring the bell when the food's outside.
I don't think so.
No. Do you think there is a doorbell? Because he had that knocker that became Marley.
I do. I think that's the doorbell.
See, you know what bothers me? You know why you couldn't do this movie now? Is because you get some dumbass online that you're like, oh, quick, You got to come to my house. I just saw my dead partner's face in the thing. They'd be like, picture, it didn't happen. Like, it'd be one of those, like, the first thing that anyone would do nowadays is fucking Instagram that shit. Like, stop it. It's supposed to be scary.
Oh.
And you're just fucking taking pictures
I
of it.
didn't realize you were 90 years old and afraid of technology.
I'm not afraid of it. I just think it's
Don't
dumb.
you lie. Of
No
course you're
waste.
afraid of technology.
I
And
love
of
it.
course I actually knew that you were afraid of technology.
But do you see what I'm saying?
Yeah, I guess. But, I mean, it's
I don't
the same
need
as,
to
like...
do pics every time.
It's the same
Why
as,
is
like...
it pics or it didn't happen? Why is that a thing?
Because proof.
How do you prove a ghost? His chains and boxes?
You don't. They're not real. But...
Oh, first off, that's how they get you. So you have best of luck sleeping tonight.
I'm going to sleep just fine.
Ugh. I bet you have a nightcap.
Just fine. You're goddamn right.
She fucking sits to one side with that fucking ball at the end of it.
Did you ever end up watching A Few Good Men?
Yeah, I did.
I was doing Jack Nicholson in the...
Oh, yeah.
I bet you've got a nightcap. You're goddamn right I do.
Well, good for you. I'm glad you're impressing yourself.
It's such a good movie. Let's see what we got here.
I would like to stay with the nightcap theme. When Scrooge is flying, he's naked under that robe. He's just, if anyone looks up,
no,
he's got the slippers that stay on.
He wears a nightgown
Those
too.
are fucking good slippers. Because there's no backs on them and they stay on all the time.
Dude, my slippers
dick's
are
out.
straight up fucking shoes, and they fall off my foot goddamn every 5 seconds.
His dick's out, man. Like, I kept watching that scene when he's with her. I'm like, I don't even know.
Yeah, what do you think Gonzo was hanging
old
on to?
Michael Caine's wearing. I think everyone's free balling in this with that baby.
He was hanging
That
on
baby
to
Muppet.
no, Gonzo was hanging on to Michael Caine's braided pubes.
Oh my god. I don't want to fucking touch that.
So let me ask you this. And I think this is just applies to like this story in general, not like Muppet specific. But is Ebenezer Scrooge the ultimate like incel? Like he has this woman who he loves. They never end up getting married. So do you think he just never got laid and is just like, bah, humbug? Like I'm horny. Like do you think that's it? Like
Oh, I 100% think that he has. Yeah, he has never had sex, and I don't know if he's masturbated ever. Like I really don't. Like he just seems like the type. Every time you see him, just just fixated on his
money?
his coins.
at his counting house?
Yeah, it's never paper. It's just coins.
You think we should get counting houses?
I want to get the scale.
Yeah, count out our money, weigh
Yeah.
it, make sure it's pure.
I mean, I could just keep weighing the same money back and forth on it. I can just use regular coins.
I guess.
I just want the scales. That's
not
all
gold.
I want. I gotta go talk
I
to
want gold.
an old school drug dealer.
I want gold like that leprechaun.
I want the gold. Give me the gold.
Uh,
But no, like, what do you mean, like, get counting houses? How the what do you mean?
that's what he
by
has.
that?
It's his counting house.
Yeah, but like, we don't.
He lends people money, and then that's where he counts the money.
We don't have the money to get the house to put the money in. There's two things we don't have in this equation.
What if we had monopoly?
And if we did have the
counting
money,
houses?
we could buy the house, but then we would be out of the money
Huh.
to count it.
But people would give us money because they'd be so impressed with our
No,
counting house.
we couldn't because you'd just be a socialist and give it all away because apparently that's what you're supposed to do because you can't make a goddamn profit in your brain. This poor man has just been slaving away his whole life. He gave up his lovely
Oh, he worked
fiance
so hard
because he
writing
wanted
on
to-
paper.
Yes.
It's
he was
so
poor.
hard.
He grew up in the workhouse. What are you talking about? He's learned from this.
You
He's
just
like,
said
I don't ever want to go
he
back
didn't grow
there.
up in the workhouse.
Well,
You
whatever.
said he had a shitty dad.
the slave school, whatever it is. Boarding schools, that's kind of like a workhouse, right?
No, not at all.
How's that not the same thing?
One of them is
One
prison.
you work real hard.
One of them is prison, and
Yeah,
one of
that's
them
private
is school.
Yeah, but like you don't have
Either
parents.
way, they're both where poor people belong, according to Scrooge.
Well, I agree. Either way, they both sound shitty. Like a boarding school and a workhouse sound terrible.
Wait, like a school where you learn how to give abortions? Is that what you meant
Yeah.
when you said
That sounds-
a boarding school?
What is it called?
A boarding school?
A boarding
where
school.
you learn to abort.
What am I saying wrong? A boarding school. Is that it's
Keep
that
saying it.
No, I'm not saying a boarding school. It's a boarding school.
It's where you learn aborting.
That's it, right?
I mean,
You say the word.
boarding school.
That's what I'm saying.
No, you're saying aborting.
It's a boarding school. Like, yeah. This is bullshit. How come I'm in trouble when I say it? Listen, I know it's just there's a lot of coat hangers lying around at class.
Jesus.
What?
It's good school.
Or a plunger.
It's good. It's a good school. We're not talking about toilet doctor school.
Oh. Because you just stick the plunger on the ground.
You're not allowed.
Then you sit on it.
You're not allowed. No toilet doctor school for you.
I don't. I actually burned through a lot of my notes on this one, but like I think it's. I've never seen one of these versions that we're gonna do later, but I would like to see a Christmas Carol where there's no lesson learned at the end. Do you think that's possible? It can't be.
No.
I think it's always gonna come back to the moral, huh?
I actually think next week's episode is going to be the closest we get to that.
Gotcha.
But we'll tell you about that a little bit later.
Oh boy.
Get it?
I don't.
You like that
I
setup?
I really don't.
So, what do you think is it about this story that makes people want to keep telling it in different ways?
What do you mean? I think it's just like anything else, they can fucking bank on it.
Yeah.
It's something that can be retold, and because it's such a, I don't want to say heartfelt, but it's so moralistic.
Powerful. It's a powerful story.
It's something so easy that you're like, oh, it's a good tale for all children to know.
So part of it is that it's in the public domain, so you don't have to pay to use it.
Yeah. That's a perk.
And the other part is that
I'm trying to encapsulate because it ends up you have to be a good person at the end. That's the story in a whole nutshell.
Well, but there are a lot of stories. I don't know, man. What I keep coming back to is there's a lot of different stories about like being a better person, a general better person. But I think this one specifically is aimed at like the wealthy and like don't hoard money like over helping people. Don't be so ruthless. Don't like.
Well, no one's paying attention because everyone's just a selfish bastard. They're sitting there with their fucking iPhones, demanding pics, or else acting like that. I gotta prove myself to some fucking stranger.
Quit hitting my wall. What are you doing?
I gotta prove myself to some fucking stranger who I don't even really talk to. We're just Facebook buddies. Why would you say something like that, Ned?
Look, I'm just saying pics, or it didn't happen.
It did.
Well,
it's bullshit.
Well,
why do we have to prove ourselves so much? A ghost came out of a door and scared the shit out of me. He looked exactly like my dead partner. And I got this asshole over here, he's got nothing to do.
So what do you think you would do in this situation?
Oh, if I saw someone's face, I don't know. I'd probably just blow past like, fuck it, dude. I probably didn't even see it. I would just talk myself out of like, nah, I'd probably not. I'd be just like Scrooge.
So do you think that do you think Scrooge is genuinely changed, or do you think that he does go back to his shitty ways?
Like how long you get?
Yeah.
No, I think what happens is he's completely like terrified because that's the lesson. It's not really be better. It's that there's consequences, so he has to change. I think he gives.
But hang on. I think that's the surface level interpretation of it. But I think there's a deeper there's a deeper level to it where.
Well, I was gonna finish and tell you, but go on.
Well, okay, were you getting there?
No, what I was gonna say is what would happen is he would give away his fortune. All these people weren't taught to fish; they were just given fish, so they're gonna blow through his money, and then he's gonna get real bitter about it, and then just be fucking less wealthy and be bitter again.
Well, so
I don't think he's learned a goddamn.
So here's what I'm saying is I think that's the fear of death, the fear of afterlife retribution is the surface level interpretation of like his fear, but I think what he sees through the three spirits, what he gets out of that is more that he sees that he could be doing better in this life and that he could be having a more rich and fulfilled life by helping people and taking care of people rather than, just hoarding money and being miserly.
I think Dickens did say that like he took care of Tim to the last of his days. So once again, it's like, yeah, he took care of some people. Like I don't
Well,
know
yeah.
about all the people.
No, but I think that's a big part of it. Is like, I mean, for him, it was on that like micro scale of like, I'm a fucking
No,
asshole to these people in my life.
Yeah, he's just playing favorites. Like he could have probably changed the Great Britain, but he, died. So there's your
But then he died.
So there's your lesson. Is that in the end, you good or bad, you fucking Scrooge died. That's the moral. No matter how you are, that this character is gone.
Well, I mean, technically, he lives on in our hearts because he's not real.
Oh, wow. So do you think
See what I did there?
that he went to heaven, but he still got a little chain box because he was still a little greedy?
I think he went
Like
to
he
Muppet
had-
heaven.
Oh, God. Where they're just floating
Real
around.
zany.
No legs.
No, legs everywhere. They're almost exclusively legs.
You know what there wasn't enough of for my taste?
Legs?
Wasn't enough of the band.
Yeah,
I
they
do
were
enjoy.
good.
I do enjoy the feel good band. And anytime I don't care, it never gets old. Every time Animal's on screen,
Yeah.
I'm fucking in love with it. I'm waiting for him to lose his cool to start playing the drums. Every
Yeah,
time.
that's pretty good.
It's exciting. It's the same skit over and over.
It's one
and
joke.
I always love it. Yeah.
Always works for you.
It's just how he looks and how he breathes. It's like you can tell he's about to lose his shit. That's how I feel inside, Zachary.
So one of the things that I noted,
Yeah.
and I think this kind of goes back to what we were talking about before, but I think it's important for the story that he's like nearly as shaken up about Tiny Tim's death as he is about his own and his own fate. Like that he's like almost as upset at Tiny Tim dying as he is at seeing like that all those people were saying bad things about him.
Yeah.
I think that shows growth, even
I
through
guess-
just that,
I guess he did just kind of meet him. I'm sure he's aware that Tim's around, but like that's you can see that he has, I don't know.
He's like, oh shit,
no real interaction.
this
with
poor
him.
kid.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, that being said, I wish he would have shown more compassion for like Tim, but then again, he did just meet him.
Yeah.
So probably.
Well, and he gave that
Probably
money.
ridiculous.
He gave that money to charity that we don't know how much because he whispered it in Benson Honeydew's ear.
What do you think if it was like wasn't actual coins? It was just like whatever he whatever he made his fortune on, like
Lending.
like grain or corn feed or some shit. And he just gave him a ton of it.
I don't think he owns anything.
They're like sweet.
I think he's this like pure capitalist, only deals with money.
Well,
Like,
you don't know that. It's speculation.
I know.
He
That's.
could
I'm
have-
giving my opinion. We're having a conversation.
I know he could have a lot of grain bags.
It's back and forth.
I'm thinking grain bags. I'm thinking that's what he has the scales for because he's got to weigh the grain.
You're thinking that
And
Scrooge's hog is like a granary.
He does it on a granular level.
Oh!
Oh,
Well.
my.
I hate you. I hate you.
I'm trying to think like all the Muppets were accounted for in this motherfucker, right? I could watch.
What do you mean?
I
Because
could
I know, like, I guess I'm not super familiar with Muppet Show Muppets. I'm more familiar with Sesame Street Muppets.
Like I can't. Oh, okay. Like I can't think of the guy's name, the fucking big monster, and I'll have to look it up afterwards. But
Flynnborg.
Flimborg. I could watch. I wish I was on set for when Michael Caine threw the wreath at that fucking bunny Muppet. That
Jesus.
poor Muppet. So when he does it, I'm like, I wish I was on set for like to watch 8 takes of him drastically
Winging it at a
toss-
kitten?
I
Like-
no, it was a mouse. Or,
Jesus.
no, I'm sorry, it was a rabbit.
Yeah.
You
But
just
I
leave
mean,
it
like,
at it.
size-wise,
Yeah.
it's this tiny fucking... You're
Tried
like,
to
damn.
peg it.
Is it a rabbit? I thought...
No,
I
it's
did think it was a
it's
cat.
No, I wrote kitten, and then later when he's curled up, like freezing to death,
Yeah.
I were like, oh no, it's that rabbit, the one that's singing.
Yeah.
I think that's the one, the callback later for the Christmas morning one.
No, there's only one more Sleep Till Christmas.
I don't care about that song.
I'm going to send it to you.
Like, why is
Like
like?
Christmas Eve.
Doesn't it seem like for Bob Cratchit's family, like that the meal that they were making actually was kind of too much?
No, it seemed like it was like the right amount. Like it was a tiny... I mean, it seemed actually like it's a tiny
When he
goose,
felt-
so they have to make up for everything, like with everything
Oh,
else.
Okay.
That's the idea. Is it's this sad little goose, and the one that I like. The version of this.
What was it? Plum pudding. What was it? What's the dessert?
Yeah, everyone has plum
Is
pudding.
it plum pudding?
Yeah.
Like, it's made from plums?
Yeah.
You just take fruit and mash it up, and that's all you get, huh?
No, pudding is something different in
that what-
England than it is here.
Oh, that's what poor people do, huh?
They call a lot of desserts are referred to as puddings.
Oh.
Yeah, it's not like what we
Because it's just mashed?
No,
What
it's
is
different.
it? Is it bread?
Maybe it might be
Zach-
bread pudding. I don't know.
Zach, what is it?
The answer is I don't know.
Is it?
No, stop it! I hate that song.
What
is it? I don't know where the fuck I was going. God damn it.
Remember that song?
Oh yeah, I do. It sucks. But I fucking hate that song.
Oh. We're learning all kinds of stuff about you.
But so the version of this that I think is most like sells the whole Cratchit family Christmas dinner being meager. Like, I think the version that sells that the best is the Mickey Christmas Carol, because the little goose is it's tiny.
Yeah.
It's tiny, and then they have
and then they're still carving it, but there's nothing.
Well, and also they have when he goes when Scrooge goes and looks in the window and he sees this big pot, this big
it's his
thing, and
his laundry.
Yeah, it's Scrooge's laundry that Cratchit is doing to make extra money to pay for his family.
The bummer about the Disney one is it's so short because it's made for a half-hour segment, so it's only 23 minutes.
Yeah, something like that
for commercial time. So
we talked about doing that for it, but it's just too short for this.
Exactly. But no, I do. That's one of the ones that we watch every single year.
Yeah, that was my first introduction to A Christmas Carol, and I think that it's important because it gives us Scrooge McDuck as a character.
I always forget.
That's where he comes from.
Me. Yeah,
because Ebenezer Scrooge, and then Donald is his nephew, and that from that comes the whole
Is it nephew? I thought it was a sailor cousin.
It's his nephew.
Not like a Sailor Moon.
Yeah, like Sailor Moon.
Ah, gotcha.
Sailor Nephew, they call him.
Gotcha.
No, it's Donald Duck is Scrooge's nephew, and Huey, Dewey, and Louie are Donald's nephews.
Gotcha.
Yeah.
I mean, how does he get them? Why do they have these nephews?
Well, I guess I don't know.
Where the hell are the parents?
I don't know about in the old version, the original version of DuckTales. I don't know, but I know that in the rebooted version that came out in 2017.
Oh, they explain it, right?
I think
we talked about
and it's
this.
really good. Actually, that show's great. I watch it with,
Sometimes because we're friends, Zach, I don't remember if we talked about it on the show. Or if we
No,
talked
it's
about
unlikely.
It on real life.
But that show has a lot of really great
corkscrew penis
comedian actors do a lot of the characters.
Zach.
It's good stuff.
Hey Zach,
Hi.
ducks have corkscrew penises.
Yeah.
Acknowledge it.
They're one of the few birds that have penises.
Peni.
Penises.
Penises.
Yes.
I mean, that pretty much wraps up the show then.
That pretty much wraps up the show then. For good. We're done.
Until next week.
Oh.
I do love the Christmas. If I could talk, I do love the Christmas theme though. So
Yeah, well.
why don't you introduce what we're gonna be up to as the following?
I do want to make sure that you're not disappointed when I hit the closing theme and it's the same as normal, because I didn't do a closing theme.
Ooh,
Yeah,
fancy.
so it's just it's the opposite. I didn't do a new
Oh.
closing theme. It's
classic.
Classic. Ooh.
Classic.
Similar words. I get it. So next week we're going to be doing something that I've never seen before, which is A Very Sunny Christmas, the It's Always Sunny in Philadelphia Christmas special.
I'm excited because we're doing a TV show.
Yeah, that's
even though this is the special, so it's kind of standalone. But
well, we can break format. That's the fun of it. We don't have to be so
I don't
rigid
think
and
that's
strict
fun.
to
It's
the
fucking
rules and
cold and heartless without this rigid schedule.
without the freak similes.
Yeah.
We're not going to let you forget that there are freak similes.
I left a blank on my notes because I realized that we didn't have them, and I didn't want to take its place with nonsense.
No, that'd be bullshit.
Gosh.
Yeah. Yeah, we'd have to stop the show if you did something like that. We couldn't carry on.
And break my legs.
And break your legs, yeah.
And break my eyes.
And break your How does that work?
Let
me look at my notes real quick just to make sure I didn't have anything else. No, I'm going to talk about that next week, actually.
Love it.
Yeah, I'm going to move that to next week. Make a little arrow, and you get to hear me making notes. All right. Well, thanks for listening. We're stoked to keep doing this fun Christmas stuff, and we hope you like it too. And tell all your friends about us. And be sure to subscribe wherever you get your podcasts. If you like what we do, you can rate and review us on Apple Podcasts. You can find us online at KeystoneCopycats.com. We are at Keystone Copycats on Instagram and Facebook, and at Keystone Copycat on Twitter. If you got something to say, you can email us at KeystoneCopycats@gmail.com or leave us a voicemail at 513-239-7682. Check out Singularity: A Dinosaur's Tale every Friday. And until next time, have a very merry Zach and a slightly less merry,
Please. Mass.
ho ho ho.